Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Leonardo G. This time with a video that I wanted to do for a long time concerning Dauntless, and more specifically the combat in Dauntless. Now I'm going to separate this into three things, which is the camera, dodging, and cancel animation, which in my opinion all need to be reworked. Now let me talk about camera. We cannot adjust camera fast enough as we fight behemoths or several behemoths and other enemies. It's just impossible. You know, I play with a controller. There's a way you can auto adjust the camera pressing L3, but if the behemoth jumps, you just can't see it. Either he jumps at a certain distance where you can put the camera on him, but if you're hitting him and he jumps and you're really close to him, trying to move the camera up to see where he's going to land is virtually impossible, or he just lands on you and hits you. Most of the times, what I do and many people do is you have like this perception, like a counter, you'll land in 3 seconds, you'll land in 5 seconds, but we can't really be sure because some jumps are different from others. For instance, Shrike jumps is faster than Skraev. Skraev has more than one type of jump. In one of his jumps, he lands with a cyclone where he slaps his wing, which is near impossible to escape. Because even if he doesn't land on you, his wing is probably going to hit you, so you have to counter. Is he going to do the 2-second jump or the 5-second jump or the 3-second? So it's impossible. You really need to see where he's going. I know that combat from Dauntless was taken from Monster Hunter, but I've played Monster Hunter and I don't remember having this problem. I'm pretty sure. I'm not saying it's like that, but I'm pretty sure that Monster Hunter had a kind of a lock-on feature, even if it was like for easy play for casual players, but I think it has some kind of lock-on, and this game desperately needs something like that. It's impossible to just keep moving the camera around trying to hit the behemoth. There was one time where they kind of did that. They got a camera that auto adjusts with zoom ins and zoom outs and something like that. It wasn't perfect, but it was a step in the right direction. But of course, it got problems because when you were in escalation or something like that, the camera pulled out, it went behind a tree or a boulder or something like that, and you couldn't see the character. So you need to adjust the camera again. So yeah, it had problems, so they kind of threw it away, they kind of disconnected. But I think they need to bring back something like that. Either, I'm talking about a lock-on because if you have two behemoths, especially on escalation and now in hunting grounds, you really need to focus on one, not the other. And with this camera setup, you really can't track the behemoth you want to fight like that. And don't even get me started on behemoths like Shroud, which just put everything black and you can't even see where they're coming. I understand this is this is the purpose, not to see exactly where it's coming, but not to even be able to acknowledge that he's there when he's jumping right on top of you is the worst. I mean, they could maybe put a tracking, and the tracking gets disconnected when he's in that obscure universe or something like that. But it's fidgety, and they have to work on it. But yeah, camera needs a solid rework. After that, we have dodging, which you actually have two types of dodge. You have dodge and dash. Now, dash is a little bit better. You can use it with Strikers and Chainblades because the entire animation that is playing, for the entire animation, the time that the animation is playing, you are invulnerable. You get that white aura around you. For the entire time that you're dashing, you do get that white, or at least more time. When you roll, is a different story. You roll only halfway through the animation are you actually invulnerable. Before your feet touch the ground when you're rolling, when the end of the roll, you're already vulnerable. So what happens many times is that you're starting to roll and you think, oh, I'm going to be invulnerable until the end of the animation, until I get up, and you don't. Your invulnerability stops. I think it's like 7 frames. It only lasts for 7 frames, which in dash is perfectly fine because dash is fast. But roll is slow and it takes more time to get up, and so you get hit. If you're trying to roll through a behemoth when he's rushing at you, or maybe rushing away, or trying to roll away, you many times get hit before you even finish reaching the end of the behemoth at the other side, or maybe when you roll sideways, you get hit before you get up, which is annoying to say the least, and it's unfair at the worst level. Also with the roll, it doesn't. I think Dash also has this, but when you press the button, you get like one frame, and then on the second frame you're invulnerable. But in roll, it's worse. It's like only on the third frame of the animation you really are really vulnerable. So if you're just starting to launch yourself towards the ground to roll, you can still get hit. And many times, especially with enemies that have like a wing, the arc of the wing is so big that even if you roll away from it, by the end of your roll, the arc is still on top of you because the wing is that big, and you still get hit. So they have to adjust this. They have to adjust the window of invulnerability, and they have to adjust the animation of the roll to allow you to do that. Many times you're fighting, you see the behemoth is going to start a movement, and you say, "That's it, I'm going to get hit." Because depending on the weapon that you're using, if you're using chain blades or strikers, it's easier to stop the animation. But when you do others like axes and hammers, it's just a no-brainer. You're gonna get hit. You might as well keep hitting it to just get the damage up, than just trying to roll to dodge and still get hit. Speaking of animation, now brings me to cancel animation, from which this game has none. None. Many times you have to be absolutely still and waiting for the behemoth to attack to actually perform a good dodge or a good roll or something like that. Even taking potions, sometimes you have to be perfectly still to take potions. When the update came, it seemed that this was fixed. I could take potions a lot faster. As soon as I stopped hitting, I can take the potions and go back to fighting. But now it seems to have, traveled back again. It doesn't seem like as fast. And your character have to be like completely still. You can't be doing anything in pressing, so the input actually registers and you actually take the potion. Many times I'm taking the potion, I end up getting hit, and the potion is still in my hand. So I don't understand why it's that. But cancel animation while dodging is absolutely non-existent. It's non-existent. If you're using chain blades and strikers, it's easier because you see the movement and you can press L1 and your chain blade fly, and you can fly, kick it and fly away. Although sometimes, I'll be honest, you should be able to direct that chain blade in the air, which you can't. If it's the first hit, the lowest, the most weak one, you can direct it. But if it's the second one, when you start rolling, you cannot adjust it, and you should be able to adjust. But that's just a little side note. Also, many times you kick it with chain blades, and you end up going to a completely different way. Instead of coming back, you go to the left or to the right because you kick like the side of the tail or the side of the head, and so it's one of those things that needs to be adjusted. But cancel animation is the worst. For instance, if you're doing a combination with Yax and you're about to land the last hit, and you see that he's starting to move his hand, he's going to hit on the ground, you cannot press dodge and immediately dodge it. You can't. You just have to take it. Like I said before, you just have to take it, and maybe the animation of you landing the hit will be the same when he's moving, so one will cancel the other, but most of the times you will get hit, so you might want to just keep hitting him. Same with axes, which is even worse because axe is super slow, and you really have to take your time for him to either be staggered or booped, and then you can actually do a good combo, or just be on his back, always on his tail or on his back. Because if you're trying to be in front of him, and whenever he's going to move to attack, he's going to hit you, and you cannot cancel the animation to dodge it. So, yeah, these things need to be adjusted. There needs to be a window where you can actually dodge when you're performing a combo. Because, it's no problem if your gear is really high, but if you're trying to fight the behemoth one-on-one, you most of the times lose, not because you don't know how to play the game or you don't know what to do, but because the game doesn't allow you to win. I mean, everything does this. Everyone does the same thing, which is just overpowering. You put your gear all to max, and you go in there and you beat it. That's it. People on consoles don't have the same advantages as people on PC. I know for a fact people on PC can use multiple hotkeys. They can even use macros. For instance, when the Scribe freezes you, you have to press the button 1,000 times before it gets released. People on PC can use a macro just to do that thing repeatedly. We can't do that, and it needs to be. I don't think it needs to be unequal. It doesn't need to be an equal matter, but it needs to be fair. And to be fair for everybody, they need to adjust combat. They need to rework combat. They need to look at it and improve on it because they haven't done so in a lot of time. So this is the video. This isn't a rant in any way, shape, or form. This is just feedback to the developers, to the community, that, you know, when the game came out a couple of years back, it was fine. I mean, we could deal with it because it was just starting, but now we really need to improve these things to make it worthwhile for a player to play, because at high levels you really need precise input and precise hitting and everything to, you know, enjoy the game. So that's just my take on it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and as always, have a great game, guys.